Welcome back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm comedian Tracy DeGraaf.
And I'm Cathrine, co-host and bestie.
Well, Cathrine, take two.
Take two.
All right. We don't get fazed by these technical issues that we have. We just keep on rolling. Yes. Just say yes.
Yes.
We're back in the Pod Lab, friends, for episode number 116. What's our topic today, Cathrine?
We are doing it on popular home decor trends for 2023.
Yeah, because we love home decor.
We do, and we hope that you do too, or at least you have somewhat of an interest in it.
Right.
And even if you don't, here it comes anyway.
Here it comes. That's right.
We'll just entertain you.
Right.
Either way.
Yeah, we'll keep you company. And we have a new little technical gizmo. Look over there, Cathrine, and say hello.
Hello, Gizmo.
It's my phone.
Yeah.
We have my phone in the room set up videotaping us. Mm-hmm. And we have these little
mics.
Yeah, these little portable things. So we're going to see if we can get some video clips out of this podcast to share on social media as well as with our patrons.
Yeah.
Tell our listening and now watching audience about our patrons, Cathrine.
Our patrons support us by contributing $5 a month, and a couple have just given 1 month's sum. And that's helping support our mission, our ministry, and also the way in which that will be happening is with new mics. That'll be the first step.
Yeah, the first goal that we have is to replace these microphones, which they've been fantastic, once we learned how to use them. But they require us to hold the microphone so close to our lips that we practically eat them. So we want to get new ones.
Yeah, they're not the greatest. And
we will also want to redo our space so that we can have a little bit more professional looking or fun looking or whatever for video. Mm-hmm. So that's the goal. We're going to get there. Yeah. All right. So I have a list of our sponsors, and I'm going to name them right now. We have 11 sponsors. We're in the double digits. We have Joan, Darlene, Gail, Karen, Janine, Ursula, Nancy, Ron, Kenny, Carla, and Courtney.
That's great.
Yeah. So I hope you're all listening.
Yeah.
And anybody who really looks forward to our podcast every week, I know you're out there.
I know you're
out there. Because we get to look at how many downloads we have in a week's time, and it's growing.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It is exciting. So we just want to encourage you to come aboard and transfer over from humor consumer to humor contributor.
Yes, please.
Yeah. And the link for our Patreon page is in the show notes of every episode.
Right.
All right. Well, let's dive into episode number 116, popular home trends. We've got 3 takeaways. We're going to talk about what's out, what's in, and then you do you. We're going to give some encouragement of how we can take in this information and just sort of chew it up and spit out the bones, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, what have you got over there?
I got my information from this gal. Her name is Kristen McGowan.
Yeah, I see. She's adorable.
Cute as a button.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And she made the most sense. Like you said earlier, or maybe it was with our first take when we first started recording. Mm-hmm. It could be way out there. It could be so unattainable by us, mid income folk, that it's not going to work.
I call us regular people.
Okay, regular people.
I say we're regular. Like, I see some design and some fashion trends, and I go, who are these people wearing this stuff that's on the runway or doing these things in their homes?
In their home, yeah. So this is more for the regulars.
Okay, so what does Kristen have to say?
Well, she says there's 10 that she honed in on in particular. 10 things that are out.
Yeah.
Wah, wah. Sorry to tell y'all, but open shelving and stacked floating shelves in your kitchen in particular are out.
Do you know how disappointed I am with that?
How disappointed?
I am super disappointed because, in my kitchen is still pretty original. Like the cabinets are original to the home. The flooring has been changed out, but the cabinets are from the 70s. And I was hoping when we replace the cabinets to put stacked shelves right to if you're facing the window, to the left.
Well, the good thing for you, though, is you haven't started. All of us who have put up those floating shelves and so forth, we've already done it and spent the money on it.
Yeah.
So Sorry, Trace, but
Okay, but here's the thing though. If you love that look,
well, yeah.
yeah, okay,
Right, exactly.
yeah. But I was upset because I saw the same information from this Kristen, and I was like, Kristen, say it isn't so.
I know, but no fear, because if it works for you, go ahead and do it. But there is a alternative solution to that you could still get that same concept, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Shiny things, they're out. Shiny things meaning like those shiny countertops, like the quartz, which I love, which I was hoping to get. Furniture, shiny cabinets, the flooring, which also looks, I think, great. Like the real shiny tile, looks like
all
quartz.
Out.
Yeah, Patrick just got that in his bathroom.
So everything is now matte and dull.
Matte. I wouldn't say dull.
Warm.
Exactly.
Okay. See?
Honed.
It's honed.
It's honed.
It's dull. Okay, so shiny is out. Oh, and she also talked about appliances, like no shiny appliances. Keep it all matte.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Fast furniture. So fast furniture, like the mass produced, the stuff that you could get everywhere.
Yeah. Like IKEA and places like that.
Target.
Yeah.
Wayfair. All of those. It's kind of the opposite of classic.
Okay.
So all of that is out. That doesn't mean necessarily like the style. Like mid-century modern is really popular right now, but the mass-produced, the replicas, kind of out.
But I love that fact because you and I
know.
Love to go thrifting.
I know. I was going to get to that.
We love it.
Yeah. I'm going to put a plug in when we get to it for myself.
And even like just looking around this room, that desk right
love
there was given to me for free from our friend Lindy Flanagan.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody gave it to her for free. And it was in somebody's family. It was like an old, in somebody's family forever. And it was a physician who actually used it back in the day. So I feel very smart.
There's a story behind it. You're not going to get that with fast furniture, folks.
No. And it's
just
heavy.
Love those turned legs.
Yeah. And so anyway, stuff like this, and I'll try to remember to put a picture of it in our show notes so that you all can see it. But it's things like that are super unique finds that I think can revitalize a space, and that it can get you excited about the hunt.
Well, look how excited we just got.
I know,
just
because
talking
we
about
love
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And sad to say, I knew this was coming.
Farmhouse,
boho, which is like bohemian type, and industrial. They're more like a theme, and themes like that are out.
I can't say that I'm sorry to see Farmhouse go.
Me too. I'm kind of. I feel like we're going to be insulting a ton of people.
But I love Joanna and Chip. I love them.
Yeah.
And we went to their place in, what's the name, Texas?
It's Waco.
Yeah, we were there.
Mm-hmm.
I had
Magnolia.
That's right. I had a gig near there, so we went on a field trip, of course.
We had to.
Right, it's research.
Yes.
It was way before we had the podcast.
Lisa was with us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
So that was a lot of fun, and I love all that, and I still love it, but I think that it just can be overdone. I think that you just get tired of it.
Well, exactly right. And that's what she meant by when overdone. It's, overdone in our culture, but also as a theme.
Yeah.
Okay. Accent walls are going out. And that's like one full painted wall, or a wall that has a certain like wallpaper or certain design on it.
What were we doing? Remember last weekend we were sitting in my living room and Ron was saying to Dave Maui, he was saying, Dave, don't you think that wall needs to be an accent wall?
Oh,
right? Remember that? Where were you?
Ron.
I know. And I said, no, our living room is tiny.
Do you know what I say to Kenny when he says stuff like that?
Yeah.
What'd I tell you about thinking? Stop thinking.
Anyway, that was before we did this research. And when I found this, I shared it with Ron. And when we got to that part, then he goes, oh, I know why you're sharing this with me. I'm like, Ron,
Ron's
I was right.
No dummy. He knows how we operate.
Right.
You operate.
I know. I'm here to protect him. Go ahead.
Yes. And now we said this last year. the open concept rooms are phasing out too. Now, she didn't mention this as to one of the reasons why, but I remember this from last time. It's, after COVID and people had to do everything from home, and some people still do, it just stuck. You want, some closed off areas where you can be,
more traditional. The traditional where you have a dining space where that's, a lot of people used it for a classroom during COVID because they had to do schoolwork from home. But you have a home office. Like, this is our little pod lab. This used to be my kid's bedroom, but now it's a designated office / pod lab. Yeah. And we had it in my closet when my kid was still here. So it's nice to have it separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
All white kitchens are out.
Yes. I'm kind of glad about that. Even though, you want things in your kitchen to be sterile, but you don't want it to look sterile. And all white on white looks very cold and sterile and not very inviting.
Right. But at the same time, if it's all white and you just change up a few things to give it some warmth, that's okay because white is classic.
Yeah.
So it's kind of got a catch there.
Do you know, white. I heard another designer talking about subway tile.
Well, so did she.
Oh, did she?
But she has a whole segment on it. I'm going to get to that.
Oh, wait. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'll hold until we get there. Go ahead.
All right. Here it is. It's the next one. White subway tile with the dark grout. So if you...
Oh, it was her who said it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, if you have the subway tile with the dark grout, that's more out because it's so busy. But if you have it more streamlined and it's seamless where the grout is white, that is better. Especially if the subway tile stands up like soldiers,
vertically.
Right, exactly. And that's okay. She didn't say anything about the herringbone style.
Now, I'm going to give my opinion on that. I think that is the dumbest thing in the world to turn subway tile vertical. I think that it would just look dumb.
I don't like it. Now, in the other colors where it wasn't white, I thought, okay, but I know me. I would get so sick of it. I totally would.
I guess that's just a matter of preference then.
Mm-hmm. Right. And shiplap. Shiplap, I knew that was coming too. That's out or going out, phasing out. Geometric designs as well. And those were more from the DIY type things. Yeah. And
I really wanted shiplap.
You did? I never heard you say that.
Well, I wanted it. Like if I could just wave a magic wand and just get it, I wanted it.
I wanted it when it was first... I must have seen it or heard it somewhere. It's probably Chip and Joanna Gaines, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I actually, at the time, didn't even know what it was called yet. That's how, I wanted it. But then, thankfully, I just, don't have that desire anymore. And I haven't had it for a while. So.
Okay, so no more shiplap.
Yeah. And the light wood tones are out or going out as well.
Okay,
so those are the things... The major things that are really popular right now that are phasing out, going out.
Yeah. Now, if you have shiplap and you have boho and you have, don't panic.
Yes, don't panic.
Don't panic because you can refresh your style without changing it completely.
Yeah, you can integrate it into almost anything. So now the flip side, what's in? Well, about the shelf thing, if you still like that shelf look and you've taken down your cabinets and now, what are you going to do? Because especially if you want to sell your home and you want to look like the latest, you can take your backsplash and make it the same, I guess like wrap it into the shelf above and make it streamlined, like all one. And even you can even wrap it around the corner. But that's the solution to that. If you still want that,
but I can't say that I'm a huge fan of what I saw. It looked okay.
Well, I've seen it on HGTV.
Have you?
Yes, and I do like it. And that's another thing too. If those HGTV home decor people are doing it, I'm thinking, it's still pretty popular then, unless it's a rerun, because they set the standard.
Yeah, they do. All right.
Okay. Now, for the opposite of the shiny things, your shiny furniture, your countertops, all of that, it is, like we said, the more matte and natural organic feel that is becoming more and more popular.
I have to say about that, like, I heard one designer say this, like, you never walk through the woods and go, oh, I'm so sick of this environment, because it never goes out of style. So I do like natural textures. So I like the natural texture of wood, stone,
me too.
brick, things like that.
Yeah. And it's funny with the brick, I think about the 60s when there would be that one section where you had your oven in the wall and it was, all the brick.
The faux brick. There was
the faux brick. Yeah.
It was faux. I remember it from my childhood. One of my relatives had it.
My mother-in-law had it for the longest time.
My kitchen. Okay, so I just have to pause for a second. My home that I grew up in was like 80 years old or something, almost 100 years old when we lived in it, right? So it was like some old farmhouse or something. I mean, the home was built without indoor plumbing. And a bathroom had to be added off the back of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And there was a cellar that you had to go outside to flip open the thing to get into the cellar.
Cool.
Well, it was that way when the home was built. And then my dad did all these renovations and stuff. And so I'm going to describe for you the kitchen in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
And the living room. Like, okay, so that's another thing. Like, throughout your house, I feel like when you choose a style, you really should kind of carry the theme through the house in a way. Like, it shouldn't be like you walk into one room and go, oh, this is obviously this style. And then you go into another section and it's totally different. Unless, of course, it's kids' bedrooms or whatever. So anyway, back in the 70s, it was sage green, burnt orange, kind of like a mazy yellow.
Yeah, I'd even say olive green. It was like this pea green.
Yeah, it was gross.
Yeah.
But so we had a counter that would go up against the wall, and then there were stools that had they were those retro looking stools where they had a back on them that was plastic, and then the seat, they were all different colors. So there's one green one, one orange one, one yellow one. And I think it was painted in either like a yellow or a peachy color, something orangey or yellow. I can't remember now exactly the color. But then when you went, the appliances were brown.
Yes.
The sink was brown.
Yes.
We had some kind of checker curtains that were very ruffly.
Okay.
Like farmy ruffly kind of. And we thought this was the best thing since sliced bread. It was great. It was all brand new.
Yeah.
The floor was linoleum, like one piece, and it looked like it was brick.
You had that? Okay.
And so then...
we had that too, actually.
Then you go into the dining room and the living room, which are kind of connected, and it's the shag carpet.
Oh, yeah. I used to...
All those colors, all those fall colors, and then we had a plastic rake.
Yes, so
did you have a rake?
That was my chore. I had to rake the whole upstairs and the stairs.
Okay.
I remember one time my dad chasing a mouse with it. And he caught the mouse in between the rake thing.
We are the last generation of human beings who ever had to rake the inside of the house.
Oh, yeah. That's a big chore.
I was talking about this this morning when I was in physical therapy. And, everybody around me is 10 years younger than me, except the other patients who are all my age or up.
Right.
And they're going, you really had to rake the carpet?
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, what would it do? I said, it would fluff it.
Yeah.
And then they said, and what about when you walked on it? I said, you raked as you walked out of the room.
Yes. Yeah. And, I remember also using, my mom had, remember now, those old, it wasn't even a real vacuum that you plugged in, but it was something you just rolled over the carpet.
Yes, we had that.
And it did pull the dust up.
Yeah, it had like a little roller in it.
Yeah. And we had that for the longest time when other people were using vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
We had that. But we did have a vacuum too.
My grandma had that, and she had carpeted kitchen. She had wall-to-wall carpeting in her kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing, because I know that our listeners can relate to this.
Yeah.
Do you remember the couches that had a printed scene on it? So it was a couch, and it had printed on it either horses or fall,
or just like the paisley thing, and plus
these were pictures. These were like not a print. It wasn't a print. It was a picture. Oh. And it was a scene of stuff, you know. It was just so funny.
Yeah.
You look at it in pictures now, you know, and you can see. So anyway, my parents had that, and it was brand new. And the first thing they did, brand new couch.
Did they put the plastic on it?
Not plastic. Gosh, that was like from the 50s. They put the couch cover on it. So they spent all this money, you know, and then they wouldn't let us see the scene or touch it or get our nails on it or, you know, anything.
Oh, yeah.
They put the couch cover on it.
Yeah.
And you had to tuck it in. And,
yeah. My mom used to always say, the oils from your skin are going to rub off on the furniture. Don't touch it. And it's funny because years later I said that to my kids. But yeah, remember when they used to sell with the furniture you bought, the arm protectors? They don't do that anymore. Yeah. You're out of luck.
I think, though, now they probably have way better protection, like chemicals that are probably going to kill us already in the furniture.
But you were talking about your kitchen, and it made me think, oh, my gosh, we had a pea green stove, and then we had the wallpaper was just the stuff that just was blue and red, and it was awful. And I mean, at the time, it wasn't, but we had very simple, super, super dark cabinets that they looked almost black, but they weren't.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, friends, if you can relate to that, you were probably raised in the 70s and 80s, and it's no, but you know what? That stuff all comes around eventually again. You know, things do come back. One day that plastic rake is coming back. You watch.
Well, shag carpet has come back and back out.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's resume.
All right, where were we with did we do the, let's see, did we do the accent wall? No.
You talked about shiplap.
Oh, we were only on the second one.
Sorry.
The matte
geometric
natural
stuff out, yeah.
Yeah, the matte natural organic feel. Look for texture and for a honed look.
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as the fast furniture, yay, thank goodness. Unique secondhand thrift type furniture, you know, go thrifting, go antiquing, go to, I'm just going to put this plug in.
Plug it.
Indian Oaks Antique Mall in Bourbonnais, if you're in the area, Illinois, if you're in the area. I have a booth there, booth number 13, Catherine's Curiosities.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it.
Well, tell them what you have in your booth, just in case they're looking.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do have a Union Jack dresser.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that initially you and I painted together. Then I painted over it because it was like a really cool, unique, like a pink with the blue and the red on it. That's but pretty. Now it's the regular colors, navy blue. Anyway, so I have that in there, and I have an old table. I just have really unique things and things that I like, and I'm pretty certain other people will like. I've got some vintage clothing. I have, but the overall theme would be more like coastal, nautical would be the overarching, but I also have other stuff as well.
Yes. So. And if you want to check it out, she's getting active on social media.
Finally.
So what is your, are you on Instagram?
My channel.
Yeah. What's your, whatever they call it?
Ellie made it up. It's at Catherine's.Curiosities.
Okay, on Instagram?
Yes, on Instagram. Then she's building up my Facebook page, the one that's not my personal, and that's Catherine's Curiosities as well.
Yeah, and if you see something on there that you love, you know, get over there and buy it.
Yes, please.
All right.
Or contact me. Okay. So where were we? Oh, yeah, so go thrifting. Go do that because it's unique. And plus, you know, you're saving things from going into the dumpsters and landfills and things like that. And you're really going to stand out. It's really going to
Yeah, I think it's fun to do that because it's the thrill of the hunt.
I love it.
Yeah. When we go thrifting, it's always like a new adventure. You never know really what you're looking for until you find it.
But you do know what you like. You know.
Well, you know what you like, but that's the hilarious part about it. You're like, I didn't know I needed this. Look at me.
And Goodwill in Illinois, anyway, no longer carries furniture. So now we have to go to like all ends of everywhere to find it. So.
Yeah. You know, one thing that this Kristen said, she mentioned that what's in is this Japan organic modern.
She called it Japandi.
Yeah, I looked it up separate from her because when she mentioned it, I was like, what's that? It's this almost barely there. Like there's almost nothing there. You know what I mean? It's like almost nothing. It's like, well, okay, it's just an empty room.
And now that I could see that coming or being around because the minimalism type thing is already here anyway.
Right.
So I can understand that. But I don't know. And I call it also like a Scandinavian look. And that's just something that I made up because it's modern, it's warm, you know.
It's like
minimalist.
this. I put this is called Japandi. It's minimalist. It's all natural, neutral colors. Blah blah blah. That's from Wayfair. You know, but I don't know. I
never heard of it before.
I'm not really a fan of that much minimalism, and I'm not really a fan of like Oriental art and stuff. So I don't know. I'd have to see it.
I do like a bonsai type tree, but maybe that's Chinese. I don't know. Sorry.
I also heard that, and I don't know if you saw this too, but that sofas with a singular cushion are more popular than a sofa. So if you're in the market for a sofa, look for one with a single cushion rather than having 2 cushions or 3 cushions.
I don't like those because you can't flip them as easily. And if you stain one side of it, that's it.
Dunzo. Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. Okay, what else?
Well, so if you like boho, you can integrate maybe a couple rattan chairs or a couple rattan items and just kind of tone down the rest of the boho. But if you want to be up to date, that is, just do that. Just incorporate it in a little bit. And another thing I'm excited about is that English cottage is in. I love English cottage.
I saw that, but I'm not really familiar with what it is. So describe it for me.
I believe that the English cottage is more like, you know, the type of homes that are in the countryside in England, and it has, you know, the thatch roofs, and it's more
a thatched roof.
Yeah,
like that's coming back.
Well, not here, but what I mean is
this
is
what they said.
Yeah.
Okay. So that does look warm and inviting to me. Like,
very. It's basically just cottagey. It's country cottage.
In my opinion, that's a little bit eclectic. You know, there's a neutral colored couch. There's different throw pillows. There's an armchair.
It's kind of a thrift store or a thrifting type style that you would see in those magazines, like
look at that.
Thrifting. Yeah.
I could live with that more so than the Japandi or whatever they call it.
Yeah, well, me too. That's why I said I'm excited about that. I mean, I don't know why I mentioned like the thatched roof thing, because obviously we're not going to have that here, but you know, it's but kind of where it's coming from.
I see it, and when I Googled it, they did bring one up, a thatched roof.
Oh yeah, they still have them.
Okay.
All right. Now, for those of you with the accent wall type thing, if you want to, you know, be more up to date with that, what you could do if you still want to bring attention to a certain wall, you can have like a gallery of photos, and you could integrate it that way, like putting in some wow factors on that wall.
Yeah.
But not over busy. It sounds so complicated, but it's really not.
No. You know, one of the people that I was talking to this morning about this, they recently moved. And he said that they staged their house to move, which we did that too. When we moved, it's almost been 4 years now, which I can't believe. But we staged the house to move. And I really liked what we did to the home.
I loved the way our home was. Yeah, your home looked really nice.
And it was neutral, and it was freshly painted, and
do you know,
it was very minimal.
Yeah, I saved our photographs, like the brochure that was put together. Yeah. Actually, Denise Lau came and helped me with it a little bit, or a lot.
You know, speaking of Denise, let's plug her because she has a wonderful business.
Oh, my goodness.
Denise Lau is a personal friend of ours, and she does this kind of thing. She does it professionally, and you can hire her virtually as well. So you don't have to have her into your home. So even if you're listening from far and wide. She can do this through the computer.
Yeah. And she will take what you already have and just give it a new spin and kind of tell you where to put it and put it in different spaces and things like that. So you don't even have to go out and buy new things.
Yeah. And I'll give you the name of her website is called The Room Designer.
Room Designer, yeah.
So if you go to theroomdesigner.com, you'll see her website. And I haven't been on her site in a while. She's got updated photos here of work that she's done. And she's just really practical. Mm-hmm. She's regular people.
Mm-hmm. She is.
She is.
She absolutely is. Yes.
She's regular people, but she's been trained in design. She worked in graphic design for many years and then transitioned in a reboot of herself and her own career. And she went back to school to do home design. Yeah. And she does a fabulous job.
She sure does. You know, we should put a plug in also for Emily Smith. If you want to simplify and you want to minimalize, then you can contact Emily Smith.
She's still doing it?
Well, I hope so, because now I said it.
I'm not sure if she is, because she's so busy with her kids now.
Yeah. Well, we'll put it in the show notes if we find it. Is that what? Anyway,
I'm looking for it.
Back to that accent wall. Another thing that instead of that is really coming back to popularity is painting your entire room, including the trim and the door, all one color. And I have to say, I've always loved that. I've never done it, but I love it.
Okay, it depends on the color, because I recently looked at a home for sale that had pink in one room.
Yeah.
And the ceiling, the doors, the trim, it was like they were against taping off and cutting in any other color. So they just painted the entire space this bright Pepto-Bismol pink. And then they had another room that was like Barney the dinosaur purple. And then a different room that it just really, was really bad.
Right. Right. You have to have like a classic color and a classic type of trim as well to do that. I mean, that's just us saying that.
Yeah.
But,
well, and I think you have to have something that you can stomach. You know, you can't take too much of some of these colors.
Purple.
You can take bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
But maybe something that's just a little bit more of a background instead of.
Yeah. Right. Well, I don't think that the pink and the purple were meant to be in full force like that.
No, I think that it was something that maybe they were inspired by something else and then it went bad and went wild. You know, speaking of paint, one of the things that I discovered was a designer who said gray is out.
Oh, yeah. I told Kenny before we even worked on this, I said, I can't stand this anymore. I have got to get rid of this gray and repaint.
My whole house is gray.
I'm tired. Yeah.
And you know what's replacing the gray? Like a
green.
No, I saw warm, like, I mean, obviously anybody can do whatever you want. But in the article that I read, they said go more with warm tan, like a warmth color.
Yeah. For me, I don't want to do that because I already had that. And so, but last year, the most popular color was Evergreen Fog, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Or Forest Fog, something like that. And it's beautiful color. I can hear the church bells.
Yeah.
Sounds
it's
so
3
nice.
o'clock.
Yeah.
I love living here where the church bells, they go off every day at like 9 a.m., 3 p.m.
The quarter.
And 6 p.m. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now, if you have that all white kitchen, that's okay. Don't panic. Don't panic for any of this, actually.
Yeah, really.
Because it is timeless. But if you want to make it more unique, you can have like a collective style with some wood and some rock and incorporate some warm tones, either on your countertop, maybe a butcher block or something like that.
You know, once again, to talk about Denise, that's the beauty of what a professional can do for you. So let's say, for example, that you are really itching to do some kind of a makeover in your home, whether it's, let's say it's the master bedroom, like you're done with whatever you have and you just want to do that. You have somebody who's professional like Denise to come in there with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
And she can tell you, okay, if this is where you want to go, and let's say you have a budget, you have $1,000, that's all I'm willing to spend. I'm not knocking down walls. I'm not rebuilding, the pyramids.
Yeah, she'll work with that.
She will.
Yeah.
And accessorizing a space, we've seen Denise do it a million times at Evelina's Red Dresser in Frankfurt, our beautiful store of consignment furniture, clothing, home decor. And Denise works there. And that's how we met her, was through there. She takes stuff and whips it together in no time. And you're like, oh my gosh, how did she do that?
Boopity, boopity, boop.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah. Okay. Now the subway tile with the dark route. All right. We already covered that.
We did.
But if you want to, if you're just like you're going to be doing your kitchen.
Yeah.
A look that is coming in that looks really nice and warm are those honed tiles and Zelich. I forget how she said that. Zelich. Anyway, it's like a handcrafted, textured, and kind of a worn look. And it's just warm. Warm and worn is really what she's talking about.
So does it look natural, like natural stone?
Well, some of it, and it's funny because I was looking at it and I'm like, well, that's shiny.
Right.
It's almost got a pearlescent finish to it.
Okay.
And it kind of almost looks like an iridescent shell in a way. At least that's what I saw. I forget how she pronounced that. Zelish, something like that.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and anyway, so that is...
Can I tell you what I saw for a backsplash? It was this real uppity guy who was doing the reporting.
Yeah.
And this was like the latest thing in design. And he said mirrors. Ugh. I know.
I don't want to be looking at myself in the kitchen. Especially the midsection.
Here's your new diet plan. Put mirrors all over your kitchen when you go into the refrigerator.
Also get a glass top table so you can look down at your thighs when you're eating.
It's bad enough just like you gotta look at your face to put some makeup on.
Yeah. I always love that, when we had a patio table that was like the tempered glass outside.
Yeah.
I'd be like, where are the placemats? I do not want to be looking at my legs.
When we go to the gym, there's a mirror that is placed. We go to the gym, we go to the pool. And there's a mirror right when you walk back into the
curses. I hate that mirror.
The locker room.
It's like the funny house mirror. Whatever it's fun house.
Wide.
Just ugh.
And you're wet and you're just like not looking
your
your
swimsuit.
Ugh.
Oh.
I don't know who put that there.
And it's winter, so you're extra white.
Yeah.
Well,
I think I'm going to put a message on there that says you're beautiful.
Yeah, like the mirror I have in my booth, it says hello gorgeous on it.
Yeah.
Mirror on the wall. What do I have next here? The opposite of shiplap and geometric designs, which are going out. You could do the picture frame molding. That's a classic. That will never go out. I love that look, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And the wainscoting.
Yeah.
How do we say that? It's timeless. It's interesting. Adds interest. It just looks fantastic and classic.
Yeah.
Okay, and the light tones that are going out in the wood, the furniture, instead dark wood, which is so crazy because I'm just so tired of, in my case anyway, I like some painted furniture. I still have that, but I really embrace the dark. I just picked up a table that's really dark on top.
Look at that desk.
Yep.
I mean, that color is from 100 years of, of just sitting around.
Right. But the walnut look. But the nice thing is you can mix, because I have to tell you, I wouldn't want everything in the room to be super dark. I like it to be a balance of some brightness with, these nice warm dark colors as well. So that's it for the major things that are going out and the new things that are coming in.
One thing to touch on, wallpaper.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember back in the 90s how many people were doing wallpaper?
Absolutely. And those borders.
Yes.
Remember the borders?
Yes.
You either had it way on top by your ceiling.
Right.
Or you had
in the middle
where the chair rail would be.
So one weekend, Ron went to Promise Keepers. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
So it was like a giant rally or conference for men.
Yeah.
And our church was going with a group of men, and they were going to another state. I forget where they were going, but I was home with the 5 boys. And while he was gone, I wallpapered our whole living room.
Wow.
And it was a white background wallpaper with blue and mauve flower.
I remember the mauve. Oh, I hope that never comes back.
It was gorgeous in its day. And our couch was blue, and he came home and didn't even notice.
What?
He didn't even notice.
Oh, well, maybe he was filled with the Spirit.
I guess. I think he was exhausted from driving for 15 hours. But, and then removing that wallpaper, I never removed it because we sold that house.
Oh.
But trust me,
I have removed.
I hope that somebody's removed that wallpaper by now.
I'm going to give a tip for that. The best way to remove wallpaper, especially the kind that's extra sticky, you put fabric softener in a spray bottle, mix it with water, and just saturate it with the fabric softener, and it comes off much easier.
I remember back in the 80s, my parents were homeowners of homes that they would then rent out, and they had purchased this home, which was across the street from our house, and they had to remove wallpaper that had been there for decades, and we had to rent a steamer.
Yeah.
And you had to hold it and then move it and then peel it and hold it. It was ridiculous. Now, this gal that I saw talking about the wallpaper today in 2023, she said that the good news is wallpaper, there's many different styles, and a lot of it is just put it up and peel it off. It's like a peel and stick thing. There's no permanence to it.
That's so nice. I want to put some in my booth. I told Kenny that.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to experiment with some wallpaper, like maybe in the laundry room or in a bathroom or wherever, experiment with it. If you can peel it off, ain't no thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
They talked about vintage, like mural wallpaper. And they showed a couple examples of it.
I like the sound of the vintage.
It was gorgeous. So it's obviously it's current and new and it's today's technology, so it's easy to get off. But it was like a vintage throwback kind of a scene with colors and stuff. It was neat.
I just popped into my mind.
Yeah.
I remember my parents' bedroom when I was really young.
Yeah.
Oh, they had on just the one wall, it was black wallpaper with big gigantic circles of like silver and maybe one gold.
Oh, wow.
And it was really dark, which amazes me because my mom has always hated dark. Well, at least later in years, maybe because she had, that they came up out of the 70s and things like that, when a lot of things were really dark, dark paneling, dark this, dark that.
Speaking of dark, okay, I saw one designer that talked about black kitchens. Did you see anything about this?
No, but I know it's popular if you have... Patrick wanted that, but it's more masculine, and he does have black cabinets.
Okay, it was black on black on black. So, like, everything is black in this kitchen. And I'm like, no.
Let me get my glasses
Look at this. It's kind of taken a while for it to... No, that's too dark.
Well, that looks gray to me. Gray and black.
Okay, well, it is, but they're calling it black on black. There's different tones to it.
Oh, okay.
But it's very dark. It's very masculine. It's very urban. Yeah. Now that one has more white in it. But I was like, this is going to be one of those decisions that 10 years from now, they're going to go, remember those black kitchens?
Yeah, I tried to talk to Patrick about that, about his, but you know what? It's his house, and it does look great, but I keep telling him, if you want to sell it quick, but he doesn't plan on selling it, so it's okay.
Yeah. All right. Anything else that you wanted to share about what's in, what's out?
No.
All right.
No.
Let's give it to him, Cathrine. The you do you.
You do you.
That's right.
Do what suits you.
Yes.
And be happy. Just love your space.
Yes.
If it makes you feel good when you walk into your home, then do that.
Yeah.
And if you think that you're going to have to sell soon, we just gave you some tips you could use.
Yeah. And I would definitely recommend getting a professional involved because I believe that a professional can save you money. I really do.
Well, and gain some money for you if you're selling.
Absolutely. So Denise, our friend, I'm looking at her website again. I mean, she's got her fee on here $75 an hour.
Wow, she hasn't raised it.
Yeah.
In a while,
So if you can hire her for even 3 hours, right? So it's going to cost you a couple $100, but you could save so much money and time.
Yeah, because you're not going to go buy things that you don't need.
Right. And that you hate. And she can give you a cohesive plan that then you can implement over time.
Yeah. She'll kind of coach you into doing the rest of it yourself.
Yeah. Like, look at this. This is a kitchen that she did. Now, I like that.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's got the gray subway tile with white cabinets and a marble or whatever that is. I don't know.
And, one thing that's so cool is I know that that's not her style for her own home.
Right.
So how cool is that she can do that for someone else, make it look fantastic, even though her style is totally different than that. I love her style, by the way. Oh, I want to say, too.
Yeah.
Talk about you do you. So our friend Dee Soderstrom, I love her home.
Yeah.
Her home, you step into it and you're stepping back into time. And what's amazing is, like, it isn't for me, but I'll tell you, I admire it. It is it's mid-century modern, and it's all the blonde furniture. It's all the knickknacks, and it is unbelievable. Her home,
the home was built in that time period. It's very well done.
Well, and the thing that's really neat is that nobody over time remodeled it, and you'd think to yourself, ooh, but no, they preserved it, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to our scripture verse. So now I've got so many tabs open because I've been Googling different things. I got to find the scripture verse.
I think it's Proverbs 24.
It is. I found
3
it.
and 4. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Proverbs 24 verses 3 and 4. And it says this: by wisdom, a house is built, and by understanding, it is established. By knowledge, the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches.
Fantastic. Or treasures are some of the translations.
And I would say this about that. I would say your home is your castle. It's your place to rest. It's your place to feel comfort. Peace.
Yeah.
Create a space that makes
protected.
You feel that way.
Yes.
I love the advice that is given oftentimes to couples to not keep a bedroom or a TV in the bedroom. Those kinds of things, because keep the TV watching is for over here, and the bedroom is a place for sleeping. Quiet.
That's true.
Yeah. Designated spaces is that it. And then for work, don't bring the work into the bedroom. Don't have a bedroom that has a gym in the bedroom. Have a gym in the garage or in the closet or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing about that scripture that I like, by the way, is that it's the wisdom and the knowledge that's really being embraced there. And I don't know. I just like that.
I like it too. Yeah. All right. Anything else that you wanted to share on this episode?
One thing that I wanted to look up but ran out of time, the ceiling fan controversy.
What's the controversy about that?
They're always saying in these home shows, get rid of the ceiling fan. But they're so convenient when you don't want to put the air on, but you want to circulate the air in the house. So I kind of wanted to know what was the thing on that, but I didn't look into it.
Well, I'll tell you know this about my bedroom. I have a ceiling fan. We use it every single night.
You do?
Every night.
Now? Oh, wow.
Every single night, not for the circulation, it's for the noise.
Yeah. Well, you have one of those drum shaped, super spinny type.
Yeah, it's not a traditional ceiling fan. I'm trying to look for an example.
Sticking out.
It's got a cage around it, so it's encompassed. I love it. I think it's nice.
It's funny. Kenny and I were at Menards the other day, and we were looking at light fixtures because we bought one for the bedroom that Ellis used to be in. And he's like, how about this fan? I was like, we can't do a fan. We can't do a fan. And then he looked at those, the kind that you have. And I myself, it's so noisy that it's so distracting for me. So
well, it has a setting on it. So you can go low, medium, or high. Ron likes it on high, so it sounds like there's a jet plane in the room.
I just can't do that.
I prefer it on medium or low, or off though. Now I'm adjusted to it, and so now I do like to have the noise, even if he's not home. I'll turn it on.
I noticed that.
Yeah, I got sucked into the fan when you sleep. All right, but like we said before, you do you. So if you want a fan,
that's right.
If you want a fan, you get one. Right. Well, this has been a great, fun episode, and I hope that everybody is inspired to do some kind of a redo, some sort of a makeover.
Or just love what you have.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah. And guess what? It looks like our recording worked perfectly. We had some trouble before.
Oh, good.
So thank God.
Good. Well, you've been listening to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm still comedian Tracy DeGraaf.
I'm still Cathrine.
See you next time.
Goodbye.